Hey guys, this is Luke back here on Sean's channel. I am going to be showcasing my 45 card competitive hero deck profile today. I'm fairly new enough with this deck because I only made it not too long ago after you've seen my Phoenix Enforcer pull. This deck is very explosive, can get out some very incredible boards, and it's easy to do some basic combos and really put up a challenge for them. So let's get into it. Okay, for this I'm not going to fully explain every effect that all these heroes do, just because I feel like a lot of people know what the hero cards do. So this is going to be just a very quick profile, and I will spend more time on little test hands and combos. So here I'll just say the only evil hero we run in the main deck is evil hero Adusted Gold. Of course, he's the dude that you discard to get Dark Calling to your hand, and he's also the material you use with Dark Calling to go into your evil hero Malicious Bane. When it comes to vision heroes now, I know people love running 3 copies of Faris and 2 copies of Increase, but I'd change it up a little bit and run 2 copies of Faris and only 1 Increase. Reason for this is Increase can be such a brick, but the funny thing is that Increase actually has a graveyard effect not many people really think about. So Increase has a second effect that if you take battle damage, you can actually bring him out as a spell and trap card in the spell and trap card zone. So even if you brick with him, if you can find a way to get him into the graveyard, you can still use his effect and get your vision hero Vyon out. Now we run 2 copies of him, which is pretty standard for most decks. When Vyon's summoned, you get to dump a hero from the deck to the grave. Also, you can banish a hero from your graveyard to add Polymerization. So that's pretty much the standard combo that you see with most vision heroes. We run 3 copies of Stratos. Stratos is definitely the main man when it comes to elemental heroes. You know what he does when he's summoned, normal or special. You get to add a hero from your deck to your hand. Also, if you have more heroes on the field when you normal special summon him, you can pop spell and trap cards that your opponent controls to the number of other hero monsters you control. Also run 2 copies of Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist is very good because when she's special summoned, she can get you your mass change. Also, if she's sent to the graveyard, you can add a hero to your hand. The one thing I really like about heroes is that they're very good at using each other to get more heroes to your hand. Hand advantage is such a consistent thing when you play heroes. Also run 1 copy of elemental hero Solid Soldier. When he's normal summoned, you can special summon another level 4 lower hero from your hand, and if he leaves the field by a spell effect, you can special summon another hero from your graveyard in defense position. Rounding off the elemental heroes you run in the main deck, of course we have Liquid Soldier. He's getting a reprint in Legendary Duel Season 3, so he'll go down in price. The main reason we run Liquid Soldier is not for his normal summon effect, which brings back another hero, but for his secondary effect. If he's using fusion material, you get to draw 2 cards and discard 1. And then of course we run elemental hero Honest Neos. Honest Neos basically works as a hand trap to boost up a hero monster by 2500 attack. Now going into the Destiny heroes, I run 1 copy of Plasma. I was pretty hit or miss with Plasma. The main reason why was because he takes a lot of resources. You can only bring him out by tributing 3 monsters you control, and it doesn't seem much for a 1900 guy, but when he's brought out you negate the effects of all of your other opponent's monsters, and there's actually some pretty cool combos when you use the card D-Force which you run this deck. Then pretty standard 2 copies of Malicious. You know what Malicious does, I don't need to explain it. We also run 1 copy of Celestial. Celestials are very good, especially when you're using them for your Fusion Destiny plays. Everyone knows, since everyone's running Anaconda and DPE in most of their decks, that Celestial has a very powerful drawing effect, which you can use when you have no cards in your hand.
Rip Anaconda.
Rip Anaconda. I also run Destiny hero Dynatag. The reason I run Dynatag, he's not overly essential, but I think he's pretty good just because he's another high level hero monster, which is good material for a bunch of your fusions, and also it's another name for your Destiny heroes. Then of course, the most recent Destiny hero is Denier. Denier is pretty good. He's good at recycling Malicious. When your Malicious gets banished, you can use his effect to get the banished Malicious back onto the top of your deck, so you're able to recycle Malicious again. That about does it for the heroes you run in the main deck. Just going into hand traps now, I run 2 copies of Ash Blossom, and I run 2 copies of Effect Veiler. Now, you can switch this out for whatever you want really, especially when you're going against different decks, like Lancia is good against dinosaurs, dimensional barrier is good against Dystopia. So really just take this as an opportunity to decide in whatever you think is good for the matchup. Going on to the searchers of the deck, we have Reinforcement of the Army. This is a very good card, just searches it out a level 4 lower warrior monster, which is most of your heroes in the deck. And I run only 2 copies of the Emergency Call. In my pure elemental hero deck profile, I run 3 copies, but I think 2 is more than enough here. Now when we're going into our fusions, I run 2 copies of Polymerization. A lot of people would run it at 1, but since I don't run Wonder Driver in this deck, I think 2 copies is very, very good. Also, it's great when you're using Vyon's effect. If there's another poly in your hand, it's good to get that hand advantage. Next up, we have the semi-limited Fusion Destiny. You already know what Fusion Destiny does, it's very powerful, but one thing I will warn you is that when you activate this, you're locked into Dark Heroes for the rest of the turn. So just keep that in mind when you're going into your combos. I also run Miracle Fusion only at 1. Keep in mind that Miracle Fusion only fusion summons elemental fusion hero monsters, so you can't use it for every card in your extra deck. And then we have 1 copy of Dark Calling. Dark Calling is what Adusted Gold searches out for, and it's what you use to use Adusted Gold and a level 5 or higher hero monster to go into your Malicious Bane. Alright, we run 3 copies of Mass Change. Mass Change brings out your masked heroes. We run 3 masked heroes in the extra deck, that's why we run 3 copies of Mass Change in the main deck. Next up is D-Force. D-Force is fairly recent. It's very good, it has good synergy, it's tailored especially for Plasma. The main reason I run it is because it's for nothing more than just to search Plasma and add it to your hand. Also, it has very good effect that when it's on the field and you control Plasma, although the downside is you can't draw for your draw phase, the main effect that you're going to use with it is your opponent cannot target cards you control with card effects, and each Destiny Hero Plasma you control gains 100 attack for each monster in the graveyard. Cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, also can make a second attack during each battle phase. So D-Force overall is a pretty good card. I highly recommend at least trying it out. That's the main reason I put Plasma back in the deck, just so I can play around with D-Force, and so far I think it's been working pretty well. Kind of going into our bullshitty cards, you know, just Caught by the Grave, so when we're comboing off we have Protection. Raigeki, just because Raigeki is funny as fuck. And Monster Reborn, just because Monster Reborn is very, very powerful. You know what all these cards do, no point explaining. Just when we're facing these motherfucking Mystic Mind players, we like to run 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. Also good against an Eldritch matchup. Now the thing that's different about my deck is that I take into consideration that Raigeki is now at 3 and a lot of heroes just do not have protection. That's why I run 3 copies of My Body as a Shield. My Body as a Shield I feel is a bit underrated, but I think it's very essential for heroes just to give them that bit of protection. When your opponent activates a card that has the effect that destroys 1 or more monsters on the field, you can pay 1500 life points to negate the activation and destroy the card. So this is very good because you see a lot of replays of Raigeki just absolutely destroying hero boards. So I think My Body as a Shield is something your opponent won't really expect, and it's nice to have it in the back row just in case you come across these situations. Okay, now going into the extra deck, I run 1 copy of Extra Hero Dread Decimator. He's a Link tree, 2500 attack. He has 3 Link arrows pointing down. He boosts himself and every other hero that he's pointing at by 100 for each hero in the graveyard. I also run 2 copies of Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader is the reason we don't run Wonder Driver. I feel like with Cross Crusader, having the hand advantage is more important than Wonder Drivers bringing back fusion spells from the graveyard. I feel like with heroes you really want to dig deeper and deeper into your deck. That's why I think Cross Crusader is better than Wonder Driver. Now in terms of the evil hero fusion that I mentioned before, it's Malicious Bane. Malicious Bane I feel is the only hero monster that actually protects itself from the likes of Raigeki and whatever. His attack and defense is 3000, and also during the main phase you can destroy all monster your opponent controls, and he gains a little attack boost for each monster destroyed by this effect. Please note though, he can only be brought out by Dark Calling. I run 4 elemental hero fusion monsters. Sunrise is very, very good. He boosts up all your monsters by 200 attack for each attribute on the field, and that's including himself. When he's brought out, you can search out your Miracle Fusion. And also, if attack is involved with another hero monster on the field while he's out, you can destroy one card your opponent controls. I also run Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero is very, very good because when he leaves the field, he can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. That's why I run Liquid Soldier in this. He's a good monster to go into, and also getting that Liquid Soldier fusion benefit of drawing two and discarding one is very good. And also, if you use Mass Change on Absolute Zero to go into Acid, you completely wipe your opponent's field. I also run Elemental Hero Great Tornado. Admittedly not the best fusion in this deck, but we have 3 copies of Stratos, so I feel like this is very, very good to run the deck. When he's brought out, he gets to half the attack of all of your opponent's monsters. And also the fact that he's 2800 attack, I think that he's just a very strong monster to bring out. And then another target for Miracle Fusion is Elemental Hero Escarado. Escarado only takes 1 Elemental Hero monster and 1 Dark monster to bring him out, and considering we run a lot of Destiny heroes, a lot of the monsters in the deck are Dark. He's 2500 attack, and he gains 100 attack for each Elemental Hero monster in the graveyard. We run 3 Destiny Hero Fusion monsters in this deck. I like to run Dystopia. I also like to run Dominance. You can play around. Some people prefer to use Dangerous because there's a good combo that can bring out Phoenix Enforcer and Plasma if you have the Dangerous as part of the combo. But I like to run these 2 instead. I think that they're a lot better for this build. But of course, who we're playing is Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, you all know what he does. You played up against him too many times to count. Now that Anaconda's banned, he mightn't be such a threat, but he's very, very good with heroes. Okay, the one Vision Hero fusion monster we run is Vision Hero Trinity. Trinity, when he's brought out, you can double his attack, and you can make up to 3 attacks that turn. So it's good to get out a 5000 attack monster and attack 3 times. However, I will mention that he cannot attack directly. Finally, to round off the extra deck, we have 3 Mass Heroes. Of course, we run Dark Law. Dark Law is very annoying for a lot of matchups because he just banishes everything that's sent to your opponent's graveyard instead. Also, has a secondary effect that if your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, you get to banish 1 random card from their hand. I also like to run Acid, just as I said before. If you use Mass Change on Absolute Zero, Absolute Zero destroys all monster your opponent controls, and Acid destroys all spell and traps, so it's a complete board wipe. And finally, I run Mass Hero Divine Wind. Divine Wind I feel is very underrated. He's a 2700 attack fusion monster. He cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, if he destroys a monster by battle, you get to draw a card. Also, when he's face up on the field, your opponent can only attack with 1 monster per battle phase, which I feel is very, very good. Okay, I'm just going to show off one combo before we go into our test hands. The 1 card combo is with Vyon to bring out 2 very powerful fusions with some hand advantage as well. So let's just normal summon Vyon. We're going to trigger his effect, and we're going to dump Elemental Hero Shadow Mist to the graveyard. When we do that, we trigger Shadow Mist, and Shadow Mist is going to let us add a Liquid Soldier to our hand. After we do that, we can use Vyon's effect. We can banish Shadow Mist from the graveyard to add Polymerization to our hand. This instantly gives us some material that we can use for a fusion. We're going to activate Polymerization for Vyon and Liquid Soldier. We're going to go into Elemental Hero Sunrise. The good thing about Sunrise, the only material he needs is 2 heroes with different attributes, and then 2 effects we're going to trigger here, Liquid Soldier and Sunrise. We're going to say Chain Link 1, Liquid Soldier, Chain Link 2, Sunrise. When you activate that backwards, Sunrise is going to let us add Miracle Fusion to our hand, and then let's just shuffle this deck up, and then it will allow us to draw 2. Oh my god, and discard 1. Well, let's just say we have another card in our hand that we discard. Then the next thing we can do is activate Miracle Fusion. We're going to banish Vyon and Liquid Soldier from the graveyard. That is going to get us for Absolute Zero. And now, say you did pull one or 2 of these, what you can do from there is either Mass Change Absolute Zero for Acid, then you completely wipe your opponent's board. Of course, Absolute Zero getting rid of all monsters, and Acid getting rid of all spell and traps. Or you can just use Fusion Destiny to go into one of your Destiny Hero Fusion monsters, which I think you're probably better off with. But that's just a one card combo to get out these two. Okay, we're just going to do a quick little test hand now, so we're just going to shuffle up this deck and then we'll split it and see what we got. Okay. Alright, we got Emergency Call, Solid Soldier, Raigeki, Mass Change, and Fusion Destiny. These are nice cards to have in the opener. So let's start off, well, Raigeki is relevant right now. We'll save Mass Change for last and Fusion Destiny be coming up. So activate Emergency Call, we're going to search our deck for Stratos. Get Stratos to hand. We are going to normal summon Solid Soldier, and then Solid Soldier will let us bring out Stratos. Since Stratos is special summoned, triggers the effect, let's add a hero to our hand. We'll add Plasma. Reason with this is because with this we have with our hand on the board, we have confidence we can bring out Plasma this turn. So we're going to lock ourselves into dark hero monsters. We'll activate Fusion Destiny. We are going to dump Malicious, and we are also going to dump Destiny Hero Denier. This is going to bring out our DPE. Bring out our DPE. This works because Destroy Phoenix Enforcer just needs level 6 or higher a hero monster and also a Destiny hero monster. So now that we're locked into Darks, we're going to activate Malicious. We're going to banish him from the graveyard. We're to special summon out another Malicious. Then we'll activate the Denier's effect. We'll special summon him out, which will put our banished Malicious back in the top of our deck. Next up, we're going to link 2 with these guys. We're going to go into our link Cross Crusader. Now we're going to activate Cross Crusader's effect. He's going to bring back Malicious. Okay. Going to activate Cross Crusader. We're going to pop Malicious. We are going to add Evil Hero Adusted Gold to our hand. We will activate Evil Hero Adusted Gold. We will discard him to add Dark Calling to our hand. We're going to activate Malicious. We're going to banish him to special summon our Malicious. Bring him out from the deck. And now using Malicious, Stratos, and Denier, we're going to bring out our Destiny Hero Plasma. So then what we're going to do next is we're going to activate Dark Calling. We're going to banish Malicious and Adusted Gold, so we can bring out Malicious Bane. Next thing we can do is activate Mass Change on Cross Crusader, so we can bring out Dark Law. And all of that, and we still have Raigeki in our hand, which is pretty fucking good. So Malicious Bane is great because he cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. Dark Law banishes everything in your opponent's graveyard. Plasma negates all of your opponent's face-up monsters, and Destroy Phoenix Enforcer is just broken as fuck. So that's just the basic test opening hand that we have for heroes. That's it for the video. Hope you liked. Please subscribe and check out the other content on the channel. If you guys want to check out my other hero deck profile, it's a pure Elemental Hero OTK. Please check out that and all the other deck profiles we have on this channel. More content on the way.